he asked me, he said, how do you want to do this? So I said, well, just let me have it. He said, just let me have it. And so he's like, okay. And then, bam, he let me have it, and I was slammed it. But then, what I didn't know was Christian Bale was going to come in there, and he decided to, improvise a lot of stuff. So he started punching me, kicking me,
I don't remember that it was a movie.
They cut it out.
So you got beat up for nothing?
Brian Christensen. I'm a stuntman, actor, stunt coordinator. I had my own production company for the last 20 years. Probably have over 200 credits of television, movies, commercials. Did live shows. I was in China, Thailand, Europe. I traveled all over the world doing Wild West shows, getting shot off buildings and shot off horses. And that was how I started. This town is busy. So now the shows need a lot of different faces, a lot of new faces. Not just the guys like myself who are in the group. We can't do everything. I can't be a 25-year-old guy. So we're recruiting people. We're recruiting young athletes and actors and stuff like that. And so we'd have these little training sessions about once a month, see who can do what, because we don't want a coordinator or a producer to come from LA and go like, oh, we got to fly in all these guys from LA or New York because there's nobody in Chicago who can do a fire burn. Well, now we just had a fire class where we lit a bunch of people on fire. Now they know how it's done. Doing a fire burn's not that big a deal, really. It's all in the prep. It's like doing a flying thing. Like when I rig a flying stunt, I always say to the performer actually doing the stunt, quite honestly, dude, you're just a sandbag. Because I'm the one doing all the heavy lifting here. You know what I mean? With the, with you, yes, they get all the glory and the fun and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to be rigging the next guy doing his thing. When we were teaching the kids, everybody when they're on fire, they want to be like Frankenstein, like, and I just wanted to do it like, pretend you're not on fire. So I had the fake gun and the mask and stuff and tried to make it a little funnier and just be like, I'm just doing my acting thing, even though I'm on fire. That doesn't really play into my performance, and I think that people kind of got that. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to teach them how to just be like, you've seen it in High Falls and you've seen it on fire gags. When a guy's coming off a building, he's like, it's a high fall. He's falling into an airbag. So we're trying to make it so that it looks a little more like a real thing.
How did you guys feel about your dad when you were growing up as like a stuntman?
It's pretty cool. I mean, we grew up with it, but all of my friends thought it was way cooler than I did, I feel like. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You got to see a lot of cool stuff, meet a lot of cool people.
So you didn't feel good when you didn't brag about it or anything? You weren't on that kind of level?
Not really. I never bragged about it. Just like when people asked me what he did, I'd tell them, and then they'd all freak out and be like, "Oh, does he know like George Clooney or something like that?" Like, nah, he's just the guy who dies in every scene.
It was real hard when they were little. Very hard.
It was hard growing up, I guess.
I mean, he lived in LA pretty much for about 10 years.
We'd be back and forth there. Like, it used to be like we were here during school and then we'd fly back there in the summers and spend all summer with him.
We were out there for about a year, and it just was, can't have this same life there.
I had started doing stunts when I was very young, but it's kind of, I went in and out of it, several times, as everybody does, unless you get super lucky. So, I always did it the entire time. I just, you have to eat when you're not working.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gone most of the time, but I was always a presence. We talked every day. I bought them phones. All that kind of, I came back every time I could. I flew them out anytime I could.
Yeah, he would always make it home.
Can you remember any certain times where that happened, where you knew he was on a set, but he flew home a weekend just for you guys?
Yeah, it was actually my birthday. It was right when Be Cool came out, and he was working on that. I think you were there with us, and we all went to go see it with him. But he flew home that day, actually.
But you know, it's like when they were small, they flew out, and I was on Transformers, so it was like I had to get a nanny to watch them. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? It brought them to the set. It's just that's part of the deal. You know, if you want to be in this business, and this goes for everybody, you know, family life is tough if you're working in the industry.
We used to just get in fights.
Yeah, we'd get into a lot of fights. It would have helped if he was there to help break it up, because he's pretty good at diffusing situations. Because me, him, and my mom are all kind of hotheads. We'll just kind of fight with each other all day.
You guys are.
Yeah.
Not me.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's times he could have helped, but it's all good
Overall,
now.
your family, you guys are pretty loving and tight knit.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's a whole line in the movie Hooper, and I hope you guys see it. It's about greatest stuntman on earth, which was Hal Needham. He directed it. But he goes, "Why do you do this?" He goes, "For the glory, for the money, and for the fun. Mostly for the money." Yeah, and that's the best line. That sums it up right there. I love it, man. Hey, listen, I think anybody who gets into this business is a little askew, just like me, and just like everybody I know, just like all my close friends, because you're creative and you want to make something. And I admire that. I mean, we don't want regular jobs. And the fact that we don't want regular 40-hour-a-week jobs means we're going to be working 100 hours a week in something that we love. And then it's not work.
All right.
Wasn't that fantastic?
That was great.
Yeah, right?